This is the LeMieux Report for the week of April 13th. Topic 1, Campaign 2010. With spring in full bloom, it's time to begin the next political cycle, the 2010 election. And so begins what a friend of mine calls the invisible primary, the race for cash that insiders watch to see who has the edge. Congressman Adam Putnam is leading 5 candidates for Commissioner of Agriculture, raising almost $500,000. Incumbent Chief Financial Officer Alex Sink also posted a strong quarter, raising over $1 million. The real race is yet to begin, though, as Governor Crist decides which office he will seek, re-election or the open U.S. Senate seat. Bottom line, if Governor Crist runs for the U.S. Senate, we will have the most dynamic political cycle in anyone's memory, with 5 open statewide races. If Governor Crist runs for re-election, the only hotly contested race will be the race for the U.S. Senate. Shortly after session ends, we will know what we have in store. With hurricane season just around the corner, Florida's Hurricane Catastrophe Fund is short on cash. If a serious hurricane or other natural disaster hits Florida, the CAT Fund could be responsible for covering up to $29 billion in damages. Currently, the fund has resources only to cover $11 billion. To cover the difference, Florida asked the U.S. Treasury for a line of credit, but last week the U.S. Treasury denied the request. Bottom line, Florida isn't the only state facing this problem, which underscores the need for federal lawmakers to act. President Obama supported a national CAT fund on the campaign trail. It's time to fulfill that promise now before hurricane season starts. A year after being defeated, Sunrail is headed back to the Senate for a critical vote by the Senate Committee on Transportation and Economic Development Appropriations. All indications are that the legislation is set for passage in the House, but too close to call in the Senate, with Senator Chris Smith holding out his vote in exchange for a $2 rental car surcharge to support Tri-Rail. Governor Crist will support the surcharge only if it is put to a referendum in South Florida. Smith opposes the referendum. Why? Because the tax increase is unlikely to pass if put before the voters. Bottom line, senators should not view this project as affecting Central Florida alone. Whether Sunrail passes will have a profound impact on the prospect of meaningful commuter rail in South Florida and Tampa Bay going forward. The Senate would be wise to get this one right. We don't seem as bothered by the hassles of air travel. A study by St. Louis University and Wichita State, which has been published since 1991, found the air travel industry posed the highest marks in 4 years. Rankings are based on 4 categories: losing bags, bumping customers, complaints, and on-time arrivals. Consumer complaints dropped last year, even though nearly 1 in 4 flights was late. On average, airlines mishandled 5 bags for every 1,000 passengers. Bottom line, calling air travel better is like calling less pain pleasure. From undressing in the security line, to paying for bags, to no food on the airplane, and constant delays, air travel still stinks in Florida. Bring some in-state jet service back, and then we can all start talking about improvement. How often did you visit a shoe repair store or seamstress before the economic downturn? Times have changed, and some stores are reporting as much as a 50% increase in business. Consumer willingness pre-recession to purchase new rather than repair old slowly ushered out many repair service companies. The economic recession may have caused a lasting change to consumer behavior. A new generation of savers who seek to reupholster rather than buy new furniture and alter before purchasing new clothing may be the silver lining to these dark economic times. Bottom line, although a culture of savings may not help us overcome the current economic challenges overnight, it is ultimately good for America and will create a new form of consumer behavior that businesses can capitalize upon. Selling for value with long-term customer service should hold your business in good stead.